In our society, if you do something by yourself, alone, you're kind of regarded as a loser who doesn't have a lot of friends. And for the longest time, I used to believe exactly that. I still remember in high school, I desperately wanted to fit in. As a little bit of context, I grew up in Germany as you can see, an Asian person. My parents are from Vietnam. In my school, there were only like 2 or 3 other Asian people, so we're always the minority. So whenever I was in a cafeteria, for example, just eating by myself, people would call that cringe and make me feel very bad about myself. But recently, I came to the realization that doing things by yourself is nothing bad. To the contrary, I actually believe that you should do more things by yourself. I'm gonna wait a bit because a train is passing by. I don't like German trains. They're always late. And actually in other societies, doing things by yourself is actually regarded as normal. A few months ago, I was in Japan for a solo trip, and that's when I got really introduced to the solo culture. They're literally restaurants for people who want to go out by themselves with only one seat. That is regarded as normal in Japan. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when I went out for the first time on these restaurants and sitting by myself, it kind of felt strange because in Western society, it's not a common thing, right? But people were just minding their own business, and I realized that I actually enjoyed my own company. I think that's something you should learn. When you do things by yourself, you actually are not reliant on anyone. You learn how you can have fun with just yourself, not depending on anyone at all. And you also care less about what other people think. Right now on the street, I'm literally in public, and like there are literally people like walking past and forth. Did you see this guy? He like walked by with his bike, and now he literally forgets about me immediately after 10 seconds. So what if people think that you're cringe and you record in public, you do things by yourself? I'm literally doing this by myself right now, right? I don't give a fuck, because at the end of the day, I'm just doing things that I personally enjoy the most. Doing things by yourself actually makes you stronger. As I mentioned, in high school, I always wanted to fit in. I was always trying to invite my friends to do some cool activities that I wanted to do, but they regarded as cringe or boring. So what happened in the end? I didn't do the activities because I didn't want to be regarded as a loser who doesn't have friends at all. But it made me regret so many things in my life, which is why over time I trained myself to tell them to like, yo, fuck you guys. I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do, right? So now whenever I ask my friends I didn't want to do something, I still do it regardless. Literally 4 months ago, I flew all by myself to South Korea. I asked my friends, but most of them had university or college. Although I still had law school at the time, I said, fuck it, I just live once and I'm a content creator, so I'm gonna do this. What happened? I had one of the best trips of my life ever. I would have certainly regretted not taking this opportunity if I would have waited for my friends all the time. And you will learn so much about yourself by taking a solo trip. Because while being on a solo trip, you'll have to learn how to entertain yourself. And I think there's a huge difference between being alone and feeling lonely. This might be controversial, but I think this feeling of loneliness comes from people who are not very secure in themselves, who have never relied on themselves before. Obviously, we human beings are social animals, so from time to time, I definitely need my social interaction, but most of the time, I'm actually fine with being alone by myself. But once you're confident in yourself, once you're secure in yourself, and once you know that you can actually entertain yourself and have a blast without anyone around you, without having to seek constant approval and recognition from other people, that's when you realize that doing things alone is actually so therapeutical. You can do whatever the fuck you want, simply live present in the moment. Next time you're alone and you want to do something, don't wait for your friends. Just go for it, because we only live once. A lot of people who are in their 20s, like me, we believe that we have all the time in the world. And it's true that we have a lot of time if we have normal life expectancy. But I could see it directly from my sister. She's now 32, has a beautiful child, and has family responsibilities. Back in the days, she loved traveling. Because of the child, she can't just like spontaneously travel anymore. And that's okay, because she decided that she wants it, and her child is absolutely beautiful, phenomenal. I love her child. But what I'm trying to say is that in your 30s, you're gonna have way more responsibilities than you have right now. You only have a limited amount of opportunities that you can take in your 20s. If you constantly wait for other people to do things with you, then you might miss out on a lot of things.